Salams, marhaba, I hope you're all doing well. I've been getting questions from people interested in my Rahma Ramadan collective starting on March 19th. I'll be releasing some more details, some more information about the program, but just to give you a little taster, this is for you if checklists, if productivity hacks, if those kinds of things overwhelm you, almost paralyze you and put you in the freeze response. There's many ways to approach life. Some people are all about listing out their goals, about being productive, of making sure you hit every major part of a task or project. Same thing for Ramadan. Now you see people out there talking about the long list of things they're going to do during Ramadan. And that's perfectly fine for them. Some people need something a little bit different, a little bit more gentle, with a lot more compassion or rahma. So this program is going to be a Rahma Center program. This is for people who need to be held in community in a gentle and loving way, with no one pressuring you, guilting you, or shaming you for what you aren't doing during Ramadan. This is a place where you can prepare and make intentions for the kind of Ramadan that you imagine for yourself, that will allow you to be and experience the divine. So what is the Rahma Ramadan Collective, the RRC? It's not a course, not a program, it's a collective. Why? Because as a life coach who's also an educator, what I love doing the most is bringing together people who resonate with one another, people who naturally incline towards one another. And when I bring people together, community forms. It's pretty magical. So my intention with the Rahma Collective is to create intentional community that starts before Ramadan with a workshop. It goes throughout Ramadan as a form of support and coaching container during the month, and allows people in the community to explore different ways of making intentions for Ramadan, practicing and preparing for a Ramadan that works for them, works for their lifestyle, works for their needs, and works for what resonates with them, and making sure they stay away from things that might trigger them. This is a trauma-informed, healing-centered collective. We don't use shame, fear, or guilt in this program. We work with you, we support you so that you can find the optimal way to connect with the divine during the month of Ramadan and beyond, inshallah. Who is the Rahma Ramadan Collective for? Well, as you might have seen, I mainly work with women in my coaching practice. This time I wanted to open it up a bit more. I did a survey before I launched the program, and actually quite a few men responded and said they would love to participate. But a lot of women who responded said that they would like to have private women's space within it. So what I'm doing is I'm opening it up to anyone to apply. Right now, there's a guaranteed space for women, and if enough men also apply, I'm going to be opening up a second space, and this session, as well as a space in the online community where we're going to be. How it's going to work is that there's going to be a designated session every week just for women, and then there's going to be one that's mixed. And that one, women are going to be allowed to attend it, as well as any non-woman, essentially. So if this interests you and you're not a woman, you can still sign up and join. You'll just have one session to attend, where women will have 2 sessions they can attend on a weekly basis. And you'll also have access to community support and accountability and kind of a love space. And so this is open, again, to anyone of any gender identity. If there's enough non-women, I'll be more than happy to welcome you into the community. If not, it'll be a space for women. We shall see what happens. This is an experiment, and I'm excited for you to join me and see what we can do. What does it mean to create a vision for Ramadan? It means that you choose a theme for yourself, a way that you want to experience Ramadan, and then you set boundaries. You set boundaries between yourself and other people to allow yourself a more direct conduit up to the divine. Because when other people can possibly trigger you, when they ask you, what are you doing for Ramadan? Did you do this, X, Y, and Z? You might feel triggered. You might feel that you're less than for not doing the same things that they are. for not falling into their normative expectations. So to set a vision means that you're honoring yourself and your capacity and your capabilities, and you're getting to know yourself and getting to know what works for you and what doesn't. This is the first, inshallah, of many Ramadans where when you set a vision, each time it can be a little bit different. You try out different approaches. This will be one of many, but it's a way to approach the month that's gentle, that's compassionate, that's going to allow you to find fulfillment during the sacred month in a community of like-minded people who are offering to hold space for one another and to hold each other with gentleness, with compassion. What does it mean to set intentions for the month of Ramadan? Well, some people, and you'll see them on Instagram, on Facebook, people writing the list, and they have charts and they have workbooks for the entire month, and everyone is expected to follow the same checklist and the same workbook. Now that works for some people, and I'm glad that people are finding those programs beneficial. Now the RRC is a program for people who get overwhelmed, who feel actually triggered by these sorts of things. So the RRC is for people who actually instead prefer to set intentions. You get to set whatever intention it is that works for you. For example, one person might set the intention of having a better diet, of eating whole unprocessed foods for the month and improving their health through by cooking every day, by drinking more water, by moving, for example, on a more regular basis. Another person might set the intention for more mindfulness practices, be it more prayer, more reading Quran, more yoga, more breathwork, whatever they need to feel connection to the divine and to observe Ramadan in a way that works for them. So together we're going to figure out what intentions are going to work for you that will help you feel and experience the beauty that can be the month of Ramadan.